Just got to work on the beard.
All right, we're in. Hello, we're back. We're doing another Atomic Cast. It's Tom. Hi. Who's over here?
It's Curtis.
And down there.
And Zahir.
Yeah.
Hello.
And then Lee might turn up at some point. Ross might turn up at some point. But they were having dinner and got delayed a bit, so we're just going to crack on. We're here to chat about the year of GBHL fun that we've had and other hobby kind of stuff that we've done throughout the year, I guess. This is obviously Atomic Cast, episode 17. We were trying to do one like every other week. Slightly fell behind on that, but you know, it's got a bit busy.
Life happened.
Yeah, we're sorry. We'll try and do some more this year because we love them. So what we'll do, I guess, if everyone's happy, first of all, Zahir, are you building a model down there?
No, I'm doing something else. Yes, I am. I'm building. I'm working on this year's new project, which I'll have a little look at there.
Sweet.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah. We'll just crack on and chat about the old the year of fun. We'd like to talk about like the GBHL season as a quick thing and like how it impacted the events we went to, the good times we had at all of those, and then some like outside of competitive but like general hobby fun, and then maybe some personal stuff if we want to. You know, we like personal stuff, so that should be a little quick breakdown of what's going to come up. But really, start of the year. I guess the main fun really started to kick off in February, didn't it, for most of us?
Yeah. Of course, January was still a bit COVID-y, wasn't it? Into the West,
Yeah,
was
little bit COVID-y.
bit COVID-y. I remember Into the West got cancelled, didn't it? I think a few of us still journeyed down to Cardiff, but it wasn't the big event.
Oh, yeah, we did.
Yeah. We had a fun weekend gaming.
Completely forgot about that. The debut of Lake Town. And then February happened, and we had the London kind of double header.
Yeah, absolutely. Bit of a nuts weekend that for us. Sort of thinking back to February, I was still relatively new on the scene in terms of organising events and things. Sam obviously organises his Battle for Borough Durd, been a regular fixture in the GBHL calendar for some time. And I think when he put tickets up for sale in the January or whenever, they just went like that. And he was in, there was like, well, what are we going to do with all this excess demand? So I think we hastily put on another event at a different venue, but in the same weekend, so people can make a weekend of it. And yeah, it was great fun. We had one event. I can't believe it's not Borough Durd on the Saturday, and then Sam's Borough Durd event on the Sunday. You two came to both.
Yeah. So we're down for the Sunday, or I was down for the Sunday, and
me
then when you made the second event, it was kind of if it doesn't sell out immediately or whatever, like I'd like to come to both, but obviously the intention is so that people can come to the other one if you didn't make it to the first one, and then managed to snag a ticket. So I was like, make a weekend of it. Came and stayed with your boys are here. We had sleepovers. It was well cute. So Curtis was running the day one, the Saturday.
Yep.
So you didn't really get to play. I say Curtis was running it. Your sister was running the event. You were just there.
Yeah. It's a team effort. She is, when it comes to hosting events, she is my partner in crime. And
then Zahir, you took your Hunter Rocks.
Yeah, and Goblin Mercs and Hunter Rocks mix.
I took Lake Town to their first GBHL outing.
Because day one, so I can't believe it's not Borough Durd. That was 400 points, wasn't it? And you knew the scenarios in advance.
Yes,
that was brilliant. I loved the fact that we knew all the scenarios, so we could tailor like lists for it, and you didn't have to take a big hero or anything like that. So it was like,
my thinking there was, I think I had like such a short period of time to organise and plan. I just wanted as much done in advance, so I could just crack out an event on the day as easy as possible. But I think it worked quite well. It's actually something I, spoilers, sort of influenced my planning for my event later in the year. So
nice.
I'm glad it went well.
We had 4 games on day one, didn't we? 4 games at 400.
Oh, yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes, and you're using your London point scoring system of VP differential.
The infamous London point scoring system. Yeah, absolutely.
So
We've had so many complaints about this, but the more and more complaints we get about this scoring system, the more hardened I am and encourage other TOs in London to absolutely nail down and keep
let the hate flow.
So for anyone who doesn't know, everyone gets 10 points essentially. If you 0-0 draw, you get 10 points. And then if I win one, so if I beat Curtis 1-0, I get 11 and Curtis gets 9. If I beat Curtis 10-0, I get 20 and Curtis gets 0. But then if I beat Curtis 12-0, I still only get 20. He still only gets 0. So it kind of caps out at a 10-0 win. But it's also the same with like an 8-2. You use 6 points differential, so you get 6 point gap up from the 10. So basically, what you've got to do is pound on the people that you think you can beat, and then just like lose a little bit if you can. So I played in the morning. I had 2 games, won them both fairly comfortably. Got maximum scores from them. Zahir, how did your morning go?
Yeah, I think I did the same.
You didn't, because wasn't one of your
wait, no, we didn't, because it was game 2 that we played.
Oh, was it? I thought it was game 3.
No, it was game 3 I played.
Because your third and fourth game, Tom, were against the same person.
They were, yeah.
Yeah, so my game 1 was against the Grey Company and Hobbits, and I won relatively comfortably. And then game 2, I played against someone who used psychological warfare of being a good mate of mine and got completely distracted. I mean, we both just sort of forgot that we were playing a game in a tournament.
Yeah, we were far too busy having fun, and and then panicked and remembered that it was hold ground, and we actually had to get over there.
Yeah,
but we got there. We got the point.
You absolutely spanked me, didn't you?
It ended up. You almost had it with the Mercs, and then Bard got involved, and you said, "No, they're all dead now."
Yeah.
Hence, is that why Zahir building Bard for that reason? So you can get in on that action.
Of course.
Bit of post-traumatic stress. And then my afternoon, I spent drawing with Sam Palmer's Angmar. I spent my afternoon running away from Burda.
Just a moment to reach out to all the TOs out there. I feel your sorrow every time you get draws, particularly early on, and then you draw the next round, and then the same people are playing each other, and then you have to faff with it. Because with a Swiss points system, like if someone's drawing, they're obviously going to be playing each other again. It's a nightmare.
So yeah, I played Sam twice, and this is my personal opinion where the flaw in your London scoring system is because I then got two draws, 2 10s, and I finished with 60 points out of a possible 80, which is it's still like the equivalent of winning every single game. What, 5-0?
Yeah, it's the equivalent of getting like 3 max scores and 1-0. So it's like going 3-1, but scores in every game.
So yeah, punting me up onto the old podium. Zahir, you had a pretty good afternoon as well.
Yeah, I think I came 6th overall. I think I've won my next. Did I win my next 2 games? Curtis probably remembers better than me.
I don't remember the exacts.
But I think did okay. I think I came 6th in the end, which was good enough for me. And I got most sporting, which I was very chuffed about.
Yeah, hugely competitive for most sporting in that one. But
and also, I don't know
the highest ranking sporting person. Well done.
What my opponents were smoking, because I don't go there to be nice. I'm here to win.
So yeah, they won 2nd, 6th, still like kind of proper good results, and obviously Curtis was running it, and then we went on to day 2, which was it 500?
It was like an escalation.
500, then 700.
Yeah. Oh yes, yeah.
It was 2 games at 5, and then 1 game at 7.
And that was over at the Badman Cafe.
Yeah.
And Curtis, you're playing in this one as well?
No, Leeds United. Hence why I couldn't go to the game.
So I switched to Goblin Town. Zahir, you stayed the same.
Yeah, I stuck with Hunter Orcs, but I swapped Bolg in. So I had like Bolg, some Gundalads, Mercs, and then maybe Fimbul or something like that.
Nice.
So it was like a mix.
I drew my first game and then won my second two. But again, both with pretty high scores and it punted me back up onto the podium again for a second time. And Zahir,
I won all three of my games actually. My second game, I won by like 5 points, so it was like a middle win.
Pathetic.
And then, well, I was playing the Ringer army, which was like scouts, which was just filth to be playing as a Ringer army. And yeah, it was good. It was a good game. But I think we. Are you going to go on to the end?
I think I beat them 12-0. I played them.
Yes. Yeah, you did.
So essentially, what you two are telling me is that one of your both podiums from this weekend for at least one of yours happened because you got to play the Ringer in a one day.
Yeah.
Fair.
What I'm also saying is I came down to London. I played 7 games in London. I played the same person 3 times.
But this poor Sam. He was the host, wasn't he, on day 2? So he wasn't meant to be playing. He was just ended up being the Ringer.
Yeah.
That one was Contest Champions, Lake Town against Scouts, and he just slightly mucked it up and let me get the Goblin King and Golem into Ugluck turn 1 and just went bam, dead.
Yeah, game over.
Yeah, and I did bring the Spider Queen in late into that one as well. And I think by turn 2, I'd killed all but one of his heroes, and it was like, right, cool, this is over. Because I'd Spider Queen and
we did end up on the same exact tournament points, didn't we?
We did.
Me, you, and Bert all had exactly the same score, and then it was just down to VP scored.
Yes.
At the end, which sorted out the top 3.
Yes. It's my draw at the start cost me.
Yeah.
Which was basically on retrieval, and he realised I had mercenaries, and then parked his entire army on the one bit of terrain that was near his camp. And he had like a bolt thrower and rangers, and was like, "Come on, in." And I was like, "Nope, you can have it." And that was how I started my day. But yeah, that was a fab weekend. We went out for
both podium
as well.
Day 2.
What was that?
So we both podium day 2.
Yeah, it was nice.
It was good.
I think at the end of that weekend, was that the weekend where we finished and we were both like 1 and 2 in the GBHL?
Yeah, that's the highest. I was in P1 and I will never be that high ever again.
It was great.
I have to find that screenshot somewhere and like frame it.
You took home a few podiums that month, didn't you? February was a good month for you because weren't we in Bicester in February as well?
We were. That was either the end of February or early March.
Yeah.
And yeah, we went to the Marks event in Bicester. That was the end of March. So it was a whole month later.
Oh, sorry, I'm getting ahead.
Disgraceful behaviour. But yes, we went to Bicester. And that was Mark Kempster's Out of the Frying Pan event. I took Lake Town to then. I was starting to enjoy my Lake Town. And came third in there. 3 wins and a loss. First loss of the year. First loss with Lake Town. Which was against Phil Beale's Angmar. Being Phil? I think so. His Angmar on Heirlooms. Birder picked up the relic like turn 2. And I was like, cool, I'm courage 2. Gentle.
Yeah.
But no, really fun weekend that. Yeah,
I enjoyed that one. I was at that one. Took my dwarves, which was sort of my projects at the start of the year, taken to all the events. Terrain really good at that. Really good venue in the village hall. It was really good.
Yeah, that was on. I think it was Tom Harrison won Scouring.
Yeah, the week before.
Week before they came dead last at this. Yeah.
Well, quite embarrassingly, I was his only points that weekend. He got 1 draw, and that was against me. He got 3 losses in a draw, and unfortunately, the draw was against me.
Yeah, no, really good weekend. Yeah, so at that point, I'd like was that 2 seconds and a third.
Yes, you're riding high in the GBHL at this point.
I was having a lovely time, but as many people like to point out, they were only 80s.
Yeah.
But the real challenge was yet to come. Dun, dun, dun. April happened. We didn't really go to anything during April. You had 7 Stones in London, but that's a whole special beast.
Yeah.
Yeah, not on that, unfortunately.
And then at the end of April, early May, we ended up actually opening the Atomic Cards physical shop.
Yeah.
So I was booked in to go to multiple events. Suddenly I didn't go to multiple events. A little bit busy. So we had City of Kings, Ali's Winchester event.
Yeah, that was really, really good. Really enjoyed that. That a similar wacky point scoring system where it was all on VP scored.
Yes.
Which I think a whole different beast, but absolutely love it. It was 800 points. Love an 800-point tournament. It's a great points level. I don't think I did very well, but I remember it being a really good weekend playing darts.
The only problem was we had to play, wasn't it?
Sorry?
I think the only bad thing was we ended up having to play, which was just like every other Tuesday or Wednesday,
Yeah, and like every other Tuesday, getting smashed by Azok. So
with your dwarves,
and the Guardians call to Helm's Deep. Event in Bristol.
Yeah, that was May was a good month.
Yeah, I've missed it all.
But the shop opened.
That's why it was a good month.
How's the shop been going? So what, you're on 7 months now?
Yeah, about that. Yeah, it's been really good. We've seen some interesting changes. We've seen our Middle Earth community grow quite massively, and we've had other groups, so 40k and Magic and things have really blossomed, which is quite nice to see. We've got more events going in New Year, so keep your eyes out for them. Where I'm almost at the point of having a Middle Earth event of some sort every single month.
Wow. That's huge. That you almost become like a new home for Middle Earth in the Swindon area. You got a good regular crowd going down there for games.
Yeah, Wednesday night, we get a good kind of 10, 15 people down every Wednesday night, which is quite cool. Do some narrative scenarios, a lot of match play stuff. Setting up a league for next year as well, which is going to be quite good. Like we had a league last year, but that was like a series of events. This one's going to be fortnightly league games throughout the year.
Oh,
2 seasons. Nice. We've got 4 divisions set up because we've got 32 people signed up currently.
Oh, amazing! This is the kind of thing I'd love to do in London. It's just it's a logistical. The
logistics of it and kind of organise the games and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. But I would love every 2 weeks to have a fixture in the calendar.
We try to do that.
We're going to try and do it, and we're doing it where you've got 2 weeks and you've got to play. So let's say like me and Zahir have got to play. We've got 2 weeks to organise the game. We can organise it wherever we want. We can organise it whenever we want. I can come to Zahir's house and play him if that's easier. And then you can use the Longshanks website. Just record your score and it goes into league.
Oh, brilliant.
So it also takes the admin out as well, doesn't it?
Yeah. In theory, it should be no effort at all.
Yeah.
I'll just chip in some prizes and life will be good.
Because I'm desperate to win like a Division 3 trophy because I'm never going to win anything in the top divisions. But
should we go and take Swindon by storm and go up every week?
I absolutely wish.
We can talk a little bit more, in depth about that at some other point. I like to do a whole little episode about it. It'd be quite fun once it's going.
Yeah, look forward to that in the new year, hearing about that.
But yeah, back to the GBHL though. The meat of this. Where do we go next? June. There's one event in June last year. That's weird.
June. I went to the Grand Prix up in Nottingham, which is
yes,
GBHL, but was sort of like the tester event for GBHL event that Will Champion will be doing next year. And it was it was really, really good fun. Really, really interesting style of doing an event where it was normal Swiss ranking day one, and then for day 2 you were put into pools, and then it was essentially a knockout. Well, it was a knockout for the top 8, but for everyone else it just continued, but within a tighter pool. So day 2 you're playing sort of like-minded, similar skilled people, and what it meant was you just had, well, I had 7 absolutely cracking games over the weekend, because in Swiss ranking you often get that swinging of, you win a game, you go right to the top, you get smashed by someone who's a lot better than you then go down the leagues. I'm speaking from experience.
I don't understand this.
Yeah, if you go down the table and you beat someone, and then you yo-yo, whereas this allowed for bit yo-yo-y day 1, but it's fine. That was your opportunity to play some of the big dogs, test yourself, also play a different array, and then day 2 got put in a pool, and that was really, really good fun. Unfortunately, this year coming, it clashes with Six Nations, which I've got tickets for. But it was, it's going to be a really, really good event if it's similar to how it was last year.
That's one of the things I always tell to a lot of our new guys as well. If you're coming to like a 2-day event, or even just a 1-day, like the afternoon is more fun than the morning, and the second day is way more fun than the first day, because whoever you are, by the time you get to those later rounds, you're playing against people you should be playing against.
Yeah.
So if you're there to win the event, day 2, you should be playing against other people who are there, who know their army inside and out, are here to have a competitive thing, and you know exactly how each other's going to play, and it's all going to be serious, but in a fun way. Or if you're there to have a casual fun time, you'll play against other people who are there to have a casual fun time, and like it's just, it all works out eventually. But
yeah, definitely. And
day 1 can be rough, but day 2 is me.
Absolutely.
And then go to July.
Yeah, I think we can just skip July. Nothing important happened there.
In July, we had the rescheduled Into the West tournament in Cardiff.
Oh, well, what's that? I've not heard of that one. Is that a good one? Is that?
Well,
how many people go to that one?
It's quite a large one. It's one of the largest ones in the South. Debatable currently as to who had the largest event in the South this year. There's 2 people who love to compare and argue about it all the time. But yeah, one of the biggest events in the GBHL calendar, Into the West. 450 points, 7 games, Cardiff. The lovely new Fast On building.
Yeah, it really is a bit of a mecca for wargaming. It's a fantastic venue, great shop. It's really good.
The Cardiff one, not the Swindon one. The Swindon one's awful.
Yeah. I'm not putting anyone under the bus.
And yeah, we went. I took Lake Town, and at this point, I've ditched Bard for the more points efficient foreign King of the Mountain on Goat, because he gets free heroic combat still, but it's like 40 points cheaper or something than Bard and his kids.
Is it still a Green Alliance?
Nah, bro. Yellow. So you only get a 6-inch banner from the master, but don't care.
Still 6 inches, isn't it?
When are you ever 12 inches in the master at 400 points or 450?
Especially at 450 points. I really struggled with this year, and I went into the West, brilliant event, but found it really, really hard writing a list for, because 450 points you do have so few toys, and the meta changes at that stage, and if you want to go in and try and win games, you've really got to think differently about what you might be coming up against.
Yeah.
It's definitely like, you need to have been there a few times or played a lot of 450 games to know your army and know how to get the best out of it straight away.
If you make one mistake at those points, you can lose half your army.
Yeah, it costs you your leader, it costs you the break. It's big. It's
so swingy, which I quite like. I also like that the games are like hour and a half max. Like, you're smashing through them. I've had some where I've been at 900 points, and by the end of the game, I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
And the last thing I want to do is turn around and play another game. But yeah. So Into the West, we'll just skip through it. Nothing major happened.
This is your baby, isn't it?
Lost the first game and then won the next 6, which put me into second in the event.
Huge.
Which was
GBHL 100.
Quite nice. Yeah, probably the playing highlight of the year. was getting that, which was quite nice. What was also fun is so we day one, like we just said, like lost the first game, so ended up playing a few guys who probably weren't there with any hopes of actually winning the event, but just there for a crack. So had some good like relaxed games, had a lot of fun, and then day two ended up playing against a bunch of my mates, which is quite cool because we've got a nice little group down here, and we're all pretty, we're getting there.
You enjoy the competitive side of the game, don't you?
Yes.
Certainly some of the Swindon lot.
But it meant that we knew kind of what to expect going into the games as well, which is quite fun. So our final game was against Lee, who we all know and love. We were on table 2. But yeah, Lake Town against Dwarfs. Had a really good game. Came down to kind of one decision right at the end. Wow. A little bit of, I drove Lee up, so we had a chat about it in the car on the way back. Basically, I played against Lee rather than against the army, and kind of played a war of attrition. Knew that he'd get a little bit bored of that. Moved himself out to charge me, came out of position a little bit, and let me in, which was quite nice of him. Thanks, Lee.
It's psychological warfare again. That's what he does.
I'm not afraid to mess over my friends with sweet GBHL points. But how was the weekend for you boys? Did you have a good time? Did you?
I had a great time. For me, I'm not there for the. I don't get me wrong. Everyone enjoys winning, and I do enjoy doing well. It's all part of the fun of the hobby in the game. But I'm not a competitive player. I'm not good enough to be competitive. But by having 80 plus people there, nearly 100, there was a whole spectrum of the hobby there, from your GBHL top 5 place people to just big names you see in the hobby from YouTube. All the famous faces were there, plus local lads and people who have just come just because they've heard how good the event is. There was everyone there, which was really, really good. Played opponents I've never played before. The evening in Cardiff was always great fun. Go for some food and then for a couple of drinks. It's a really, really good event, and for that I really did enjoy it.
See, rather upsettingly for me, I did only play one new person.
Played
7 games and only one.
That's what happens when you keep podiuming at events. You just play all top tables. I'm in that lottery of the mid to lower tables. You can play.
See, that's why day one was quite fun, because I got to play against that was when I did get to play against people that I don't always play against.
Yeah.
Whereas the second day I played 3 games. One was Alex, who I played in Vista, and pops down to play locally in the shop sometimes. Then Jamie and Lee, who are both like our regular kind of sparring partners, essentially. So yeah, it was a bit. But the best thing about Into the West for me is because there's so many people there. There's so many people who love the hobbying aspect of it as well.
Yeah.
So what you get when they do their hobbying awards and things, you get these awesome display boards, and it's people who built there's an entire Rivendell scene there, and like beautiful sculpted desert boards and really cool stuff. They had a army list submission one where someone had made a bottle of mead, I think it was, and made a custom label with the ingredients being the army list and stuff.
Wow.
I don't know if you saw quite any of that.
No, I missed that. I think I missed that completely.
Too busy
Chris
having
and
lunch.
Ruth from Rue's Creation Corner. They'd done a Mirkwood Rangers army, which I played in one of the games and smashed. But they they made the garden out of actual garden. So they had the Mirkwood Rangers through actual leaves and shrubbery and things, and there were real life spiders in it.
Oh wow!
Which was quite cool. And yeah, just it's just fun, I like that. I like seeing all of that stuff as well.
It is, and at these big events, you'll see everything from the top players with their finely tuned lists to those who just love the hobby. Brilliant.
Scott Whitefoot's Moria display board.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that.
How many people do you see
magical.
crammed down at the board playing Hunt for Gollum in like the skulls kind of caves
Yeah.
and things? Oh,
Absolutely stunning.
mate, that kid can hobby.
Yeah.
It's amazing. He's a school teacher as well. So,
How did he find the time?
well, I bet he does it in class.
Yeah.
All right, kids, we're going to do some paper mache today. Don't mind me. I'm just going to make this gorgeous skull thing with like a resin pour and stuff. Don't worry about that. You kids make like a little go on. But
He
yeah.
is literally the reason why I don't bother making a display board.
Oh,
no, don't say that.
Just because, like, he's just so good.
So I know from speaking to him a fair bit because we played a few times and like met at quite a few events and stuff. That makes him so sad when people say that.
Oh no, but he's like the loveliest guy ever. Though.
He is.
A couple of times as well, and he's like such a lovely guy. He's a great opponent to play against, but he's just like he's so good.
he should inspire you to do more. Do
Yeah.
better.
Yeah. August. Lovely segue there. That was smooth, wasn't it?
What happened in August?
August, we had the largest event Swindon has ever had.
Before we get on to that, I just remembered I had a podium in August.
A GBHL podium?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, when did that happen?
Yeah, don't do GBHL podiums, unfortunately. No, I podiumed at the team event up in Manchester.
Yes, the team event. Yes.
I'm pretty sure that was early August,
You've got
wasn't
to tell them the best part about this.
And this is, I love telling this, and I feel sorry to hear. You've probably heard it a million times.
Curtis, I love it because I wanted when that happened. That was it. Like, I was like, you guys have to win now.
We sent up 2 teams from London. And originally it was just 2 teams that had sort of naturally formed based on, buying tickets and stuff. And then we thought, right, we're going to travel up together. We're going to all stay in the same accommodation. We might as well, it should be fairly free between the 2 teams. How do we want to do this? And there was a bunch of people who thought, oh, no, we really want to go out and try and win this. And a bunch of people who they wanted a theme on the lists or just sort of wanted to go up for a bit of fun. So we had a bit of an A and a B team. So your mate Bert, Tom, he captained our A team, and on our A team we had Bert, Zahir, you were on the A team, top GBHL player, Archie, and George, of course, can't forget George. Yeah. And then on the B team, I captained the B team, classic lower mid table kind of player like myself, and we had Josh Wheeler, Theo Burrows, and Jackie Wong. And so, we were chill at houses. And after game 1, I thought, well, this is it. I think we got smashed. All 4 of our games or something went down to the bottom table. But come the end of the weekend, we finished 3rd. And guess which team finished 4th?
Us.
For the A team. So yeah, huge. I forgot to mention earlier, that was definitely one of my hobby highlights. It was a cracking weekend up in Manchester. Great event, Steve, who hosted it. A team event, fantastic format. Absolutely, hopefully we'll see lots of that in the GBHL going forward with the new teams introduced to the league.
I would love to have a look at doing one for us this year as well.
Yeah, I think that'd be amazing. If I could get one that wasn't in Manchester, because apologies to all those who were in my car. We didn't get back to London until about 2 a.m. Poor George and Archie had to stay in the bed just behind me.
See, and as a fallout from that event, Bert has now asked to join our team.
You see, the thing is, right? But okay, if he's done that, he was the one who lost more of his games than anyone else in our team.
I love this because Bert was really serious. He was.
Archie and George turned up hungover day 1. And he was fuming, and then Bert abandons us, even though he lost more.
You won't get none of that. You won't get none of that on our crew.
Well, good luck to you. We'll...
Yeah, end of August, contest champions in Swindon. Swindon's largest event. We had 64 players. We had a on a day ringer, which was used because someone had a medical emergency in their family. But other than that, the logistics of it all went down quite smoothly.
as a person who played at it, I'll let you get into it in a sec. But fantastic event, Tom. Hats off to you.
Cheers, babes.
Yeah, Tom is great.
Venue was brilliant. There was so much space for gaming. I don't think it's something that a lot of TOs struggle with, is making sure there's enough space for gaming. And there was a ton, considering it was also one of the largest events of the calendar year. To also have that same space was phenomenal. All the terrain was fantastic for the 35, 40 boards that were there or something. So yeah, hats off to you. Really good tournament.
Yeah,
we did send a little bit of a community SOS out for some extra training things, because one of the things that we were very conscious of when we were setting it up was that we wanted to make sure we got as good a terrain coverage as possible, the best boards we could do, especially for those playing in like the middle of the pack.
Yeah,
where it's the spectacle of middle earth gaming. The guys at the top, they need good, clean. This is a wall. This is line of sight block. This does this. For their games to run. Everyone else wants fun, cool, dramatic landscapes to battle over. And
I just want tables that when I take pictures of my models, they look really nice on, and that is literally what I want. People are joking about me at the minute, because I think my last game against George, I told him to take biscuits off the table because it was ruining my immersion. So yeah, I really enjoyed that at the event.
And we it was August and we were very conscious of it. It was very warm, so we tried to make sure there was lots of space and stuff around the tables. There's a few things we're going to improve next year, hopefully. So we like to make sure there's food provided there. We could make extra space between the banks of tables and long them out a little bit more. So lose a little bit of space off the ends, but more space in between, so you're not touching bums. That kind of thing. But other than that, no, it was a really good weekend. World champion did not win the event. David Farmer did. So that's only because I forgot, but Will didn't win that event. He just won so many.
You're calling him out for not winning. You
just want to rub it in.
No, I was just going to say World champion won it, and then I was like, no, he didn't. David Farmer did. But yeah, it was Kira Fungal came out. We did 631 points because I wanted it to be different.
Why not?
Yeah. I'm not sure how I felt about it.
I used every single point. I used all 6.
Yeah,
a lot of people did. A lot of people didn't. Yeah, I'm not sure how I felt about it. The feedback was mixed, to say the least. So
really, people complained about the points level.
Yeah, some people hated it.
Oh, they can go suck 11.
They were just like, that was a stupid points limit. Why would you do that? But I just wanted people to actually think about this instead of just going.
Yeah.
Like right now, I've got in my phone like 450, 500, 600, 750, 800 point limits. Army saved that I've used like a million times. So it's slightly different, But yeah, that was that event. That what happened. It was good fun. Zahir, you came down.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. We all went to the pub. It was lovely.
Yeah, it was good fun. Yeah, I did my usual yo. I think as the year went on, I just got more and more inconsistent. I was just yo-yoing all over the place all weekend. But yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I loved the extra bits and pieces about killing each other's leaders and stuff, and it just makes it a bit more I really love those extra bits you can do, because you set yourself an extra target at Into the West, where you have the secret missions and stuff like that, where you have something that you feel like you can salvage from a loss.
It's it's like a little mini game within the game where you feel like there's always something to play for.
And also sometimes you can play a game where your big heroes don't actually go up against each other, and that's what makes the cinematic part of the game so fun, is having your big hero fight off against another big hero and just go at each other. So that I really enjoyed that bit.
And then September passed without much incident, and we rolled on into October, where something quite incidenty happened, didn't it, Curtis?
October,
something glorious happened.
Oh yeah, something huge happened. End of October. Sorry, like the end of October. I do forget
that the greatest thing happened.
Yeah, the great battle of our time.
Absolutely heartbreaking to have missed it.
Yeah, with the first GBHL 100 in London for about 6 years, apparently, which is absolutely huge just for the area and for the community of players that have grown in London for the last, say, 12, 24 months. Brilliant. We had 60 players come down to Shepherd's Bush, where we were hosting at the Darksphere venue there, who were really, really good hosts. You know, lots of space, lots of tables on offer, supported us with terrain. We also got the community to bring down some tables too, you know, as a lot of events do. Out of the 60 players, I think we had something like 40 of the tickets were sold to people who were local in the London chat, with then some titans of the scene coming down to fill up the remaining 20. But yeah, really, really good event. I really, really enjoyed it. You know, it's a long old year, and you know, you're playing toy soldiers for the whole thing of it. You do ebb and flow, but I'd say a real highlight of my year was the Great Battle of Our Time weekend. Huge learning thing for me, but hugely enjoyable. Made me realise that it's hosting events is what I really, really love. I hope everyone who went really, really enjoyed it. We had a cracking time. Did a quiz in the evening. Simon and Ozzy, who were helping me out all weekend, they put that on, and yeah, it was really good.
That's not the Aussie from Too Many Minis, is it?
It is the Aussie from Too Many Minis, yes. Ozzy Hurst himself from Too Many Minis was my Gandalf on day one, and him and Simon between them hosted the quiz in the evening. So yeah, hats off to them. Couldn't have done it without them. And then congratulations to Jakob Kropmal, who came. Well, I keep telling people he came all the way from Poland for it. He is Polish, and you know, does compete there. But he travelled from Coventry, where his wife is studying at the minute. But still, huge effort from him. I think he was travelling down from Coventry each day just to come to the event. But hugely worth it for him, taking the victory. Only beaten once all day. But you know, the amount of points he'd accrued from the system was enough to pretty much seal it from game 5. So, but yeah, really enjoyed it. So here you played. How did you find it?
Yeah, I loved it. It was really good fun. I took Thranduil's Halls, which was good fun. I did a thing I seem to have done a lot as the year went on, which was went undefeated day 1 and then completely dropped the ball and lost all 3 games day 2. So that was, you know, but I had really good games, and you know, I think the London community as a whole are really like down to play some good games and just have good, like, you know, really good sports, and you know, it was really good fun.
Yeah, it's 750 points as well. So you know, it's 6 tough games, 6 long games.
Yeah,
but as we'd mentioned earlier from the event earlier in the year, 4 of the scenarios were set, so people could sort of list builds to try and play those. And
the venue was great, and I'd love. I mean, that's our local.
You know, where they're most weeks, aren't we, playing?
Yeah, but it was really good. Like, it was a great atmosphere, and as always, you know, your tournaments are great fun.
And we're looking forward to next year. Hopefully, it'll be sometime around the similar time, or hopefully a little bit earlier. Because I've got a couple of prior engagements in the diary for November. So if I can get the event in the calendar earlier, that would be better. So
yeah. Yeah. I beat London's always a good time. You always have a good time in London.
Yeah.
Never had a bad.
People are often scared of traveling to London. It can be a pain. It can be expensive, and you know. But honestly, there's a big community here that would, you know, absolutely welcome anyone to come down and really encourage you to do so. You know, we're only, like we say, only a train journey away for most people. So encourage you to come down to an event next year.
And this was our kind of like final flurry really of events down here, wasn't it? Because we had at one point it was scheduled to be G-Boot, my 80 at the end of the year, and then War of the Ring, like back to back. But we moved my 80 out, so there was a little gap. So
did you go to the war in Reading in the end?
I did.
How was that? Because that was a big event. A lot of people from London went. They said it was fantastic.
Yeah,
it was okay. It was all right. I always have thoughts and feelings when the events are played in amongst everything else that's going on. So I had it with the LGT as well, where we've been before, where there's so much else going on. It can be a little hard to kind of focus, I guess. And there's also constantly people coming around and looking at you and trying to talk to you about stuff.
Yeah.
So a lot of my games I ended up on the ends of the rows, and there were kind of kids and families and stuff coming around and being like, "Oh, this guy's cool. Like, what's he doing?" And you're like, it's one of the biggest events in the country. Like, I'm trying to, trying to focus here, guys. But if you're, I suppose that's probably come down to what the difference why we're going to events. So like, I was still trying to compete for points, so I was very focused on that. Whereas if you're just there for a good time, it's probably a really great time because you've got all these other people coming around. You can share the hobby that you love, and you can talk to these guys. We went around and checked out loads of the other war games that were going on the lunch breaks and things, which is really cool. Game wise, I went 4-2.
Strong.
It was one of those. So I won the first one. Had a really tight game with Jay Claire. Basically came down to one resist roll at the end with foreign on his goat. Got tremored. If he passes the resist roll, he's quite likely to kill the guy carrying the Electron heirlooms. Take it off him. At that point, I'm going to win the game because the game was going to end at that turn. So that would have been a nice little feather in the cap. But unfortunately, just lost. And then we had a really tight game of Destroy the Supplies against the Dark Denizens of Mirkwood. Loads of spiders and bats flying everywhere, like trying desperately to bat off bats and spiders and stuff. And in the end, it was going to be a draw. Took a risk, chucked four into the Spider Queen, tried to get a cheeky leader wound to get the win. In the end, it's like this is on me, but I miscounted and really, if I'd gone and killed up 2 wargs, I'd have broken him, got the points that way. Probably easier than wounding the Spider Queen.
Yeah,
but and then the foreign got wounded by the Spider Queen, so ended up losing. You got to send it.
You were only 2 losses, that one, and then against Jay Claire. I think good weekend.
Yeah. They both came down to a fight essentially.
Yeah.
And then 3 more wins to round it out, including a final game against Bert, which was quite fun. His assault on Helm's Deep on my own board, which I brought down for the event as well. So it was quite playing against a mate in nice familiar surroundings at the end of the event where you can all relax. So I think I ended up finishing 15th out of 80 odd. So it was all right.
Yeah.
Could have come a little bit better. We worked out if that draw had happened, that'd have been top 10 potentially instead of a loss. But if the win had happened, top 5. So
if my grandma was
the risk,
like, he had wheels, she'd be a bike.
And that was
all right, Gino.
Sorry, yeah. I was just saying, what if, it was still a good result.
Yeah, it's all right. I'll accept it. And then that was that event. And then went down to my own GHL 80 that we hosted at the end of the year, the Fell Winter, which is really cool. At that point, a lot of people kind of finished, like they weren't going to score, their points weren't going to count because they'd already got bigger scores than an 80. So it was a real mix of like people who had already kind of had taken the foot off the gas a little bit and people who were desperate for those last like 70, 80 points.
Jump from a 75 to an 80 or a 65 to 70.
A real nice mix. David Clubley, for instance, was in there, like gagging for the points, and everyone else was like, "It's fine, we're just having a fun time," So in the end, it helped him out because he did end up coming third in GBHL. So
huge for Clubley, that not 4th.
Yeah, thanks for the assists. You're right. And that was, I think, that us for the year.
I think so. Oh yeah,
I mean, we
had
Yeah, we had the pairs tournament, which was just a thing that might be coming soon next year.
Nice.
Hopefully, I think George is keen to do a GBHL version of it, which is a really cool format.
Yeah, so you play in a team of 2, but you play singles games and you basically rise and fall as a pair, which is really good fun. We've played we've played it twice, haven't we, in London?
Yeah, George hosted 2 actually. He seems to be really enjoying hosting them. So fingers crossed we can get one of those in the GBHL calendar this year. The one in Christmas we had Rowan May and his brother came down, so we even had some GBHL Titans there, and they seem to really enjoy it. So
nice. So yeah, end of the year. Do you guys know where you finished?
Not a clue.
No.
Probably 200th and 203rd.
Let's have a look, shall we? Curtis. 156.
156. That's above the 200 mark. I'll take that.
Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. Best result? Where was it?
In the GBHL?
Yeah.
Oh God, I don't think I finished in it. So I'll come clean. My goal for the year was to try and finish in the top 3rd of a GBHL event.
Oh, you've smashed that.
Have I?
Yeah.
I don't think I did.
There's over 800 people at the GBHL this year.
No, top 3rd of an event that I attend.
Oh, okay, right.
And I don't think I did that, so I can't think. My best result must be, I don't know, maybe City of Kings.
Yes, it's City of Kings.
But even that, I think I only did well because I managed to get a big win right at the end, like a big 12-0 and for VPs. But I was on like.
You finished 18th out of 42.
Oh, huge! That's a great result for me. I only won 2 games. It was the VP squad.
Yeah, that's comfortably top half, close to top 3rd, very close.
Well, credit to Ali King and his hosting for getting me a
in a Portsmouth sandwich. That's where you are.
Oh yeah, that's where I like to be. Is the Woolgers? Are they near me?
One's above you, but yeah, the other one is not.
No.
Sorry. And then Zahir, any idea?
Top 50.
Top 50. Let's have a look. Zahir, your standings are wrong. There are two Zahirs on this list.
Oh, okay.
They're both in the top 50.
No, one is 28th. The other one only has 1 result.
Oh, but if you added that 1 result in, would it improve him?
No, I think it's the exact same score. Here, 73. And 73.4. You'd get 0.4 of a point extra. Let's have a look. What does that do for you?
Yes. 0.4.
That 0.4 of a point. Nah, you're all right. You're still there. You are in an Aaron Pullen and Jack Canavan sandwich, but you are above Bert.
Oh, they're good. They're good players.
So what was that? What position was that?
28th.
I'll take that. That's improvement on last year. I'll take that.
And a double improvement on last year. I'm 22nd.
Oh, no, you beat me this year. Oh,
I did.
So we're 1 year apiece now.
Yeah, I beat you by 13 points this year.
It's a shame. I mean, they're still fantastic positions considering the amount of events that there just are in the calendar, the amount of top players. But yeah, I do remember that screenshot of you 2, 1 and 2.
Yeah, I will hold on to that forever.
7 events, 4 podiums. I'll take it.
Yeah, really strong. Well done.
So coming into the year before we knew we were gonna have to shop and have to step back from a lot of events, my aim was to get 4 kind of point equivalent GBHL 80 podiums, which obviously happened because we got 4 podiums. So absolutely smashed with that.
Well done.
Yeah, well chuffed with that. I lost. I had a shocker at Worcester, which we just didn't even talk about. That was the only event above 550 points I went to.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna avoid all the low point tournaments, so then I don't have to play against you.
I had an absolute shocker at it.
I think I did similarly as bad at the GBHL, but my weekend was redeemed by finishing second at the non-GBHL, but sadly not point scoring.
And then my my losses throughout the entire year were then to Callum Edens, Jay Clare, Matey Zangmar, and the other one at War. That was it. Four other losses other than that Worcester. Two of which were to Angmar. No, two of which were on heirlooms. Bloody heirlooms. Burn it to the ground. But yeah.
Oh, well done. Big year. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, it was good. I definitely don't want to try that hard ever again. That was awful. But yeah, no, it was good. I did say this was going to be my year of trying, and then next year, like I'll go to a couple of events that I will try at, and the rest will be like if I can get to something, it would just be fun weekend. So we've got there's one in Bicester at the start of the year, and into the West, which should be pretty try-y, and then we'll see from there, like how the rest of the season.
You got to come back to Borodore again this year, mate.
I might actually let you guys win Borodore this year.
Win one of our own events.
No, we've got to have you here, man. We've got to have you. I
can't. I've been twice. I've won once and came second the next time. Like I could come back and get third and just complete the set. But but as soon as I found out Sam's not giving out trophies for it, I'm just not going to want to claim.
I know. I was heartbroken. My only GBHL podium, and I didn't get a trophy.
It's all right. You can borrow one of mine. So that's the like competitive side of things going. But in the more fun hobby side of things, how's the year gone? Curtis, have you got any special achievements in that area that you're really proud of?
Not really. Obviously, a couple of non-GBHL events I went to, really enjoyed or talked about them already. A couple of painting projects. Start of the year, it was all about.
Didn't you win a non-GBHL tournament, Mr. Hodgson?
I did. I won a very small event in Milton Keynes, a great shop in Milton Keynes that hosts events, I think, every 2 or 3 months, which was really, really good fun. Definitely, hopefully, looking to get back there again if times. Is
that a win and a second in non-GBHL events this year?
I've had a first at that event, a second at Worcester non-GBHL, and a third team event. So I've had 3 podiums.
Who are you?
Yeah, he's keeping quiet about all of these. He's had a good year.
Yeah, I've had a good.
Is that better than Zahir did?
I think it might be more podiums than Zahir, although. If we looked at my games won and against games lost for the year, I think he's coming out on top. Probably because he's responsible for a lot of my L's, and I'm responsible for a lot of his W's. So but yeah, got my dwarves painted up. Really pleased with, and then towards the end of this year, I've been working on sort of the fellowship, alternative fellowship, and got Boromir finished up just before Christmas. So. Really, really pleased with how they've come out next year. Really looking forward to essentially playing exclusively fellowship, probably. I'm
looking forward to it. I've got something that's completely opposite to what I'm used to in the works, which is a potential Rivendell army.
Oh,
yeah, low model count, elite, hard hitting Rivendell.
What, bit like Kingsguard? Are we talking Gilgalad and lots of Fight 6?
No, it's the new Elrond Glory, wasn't it?
Nice, of course.
Because they're gorgeous. And we'll see. I was tempted to do like an Elrond family tree little party.
Nice.
Yeah, but no. So that's it. And the biggest thing for me this year, which Zahir has beautifully helped with, is there's been terrain and scenery and stuff. So we went from at the start of the year, I hosted our first event, which was 32 people, so 16 tables we needed. And we had to get them ready. Zahir sent us a couple to borrow. Including that beautiful Asgiliath board. And we've gone from that to having close to 32 tables now, ready for hosting Contest Champions next year. And they're just, I've got having a lot of fun making individual Rohan houses, and decided this guy who lives in this house, he's a bit of a recluse, so he's going to put himself up on this little hill out the way, and he's got this like little pile of stowage outside his house. He's like going into town for stuff, so he's just got crates of stuff lying around. And then you got this guy who's clearly a bit of a diva and has got like beautiful flower gardens and all his washings hung up nicely, and like I'm just having a lovely time with it. So if you do come down to any of our events, make sure you look for all the little details that were stuck in on places, because I do have a lot of fun doing it. And so here's how he's made some beautiful boards for us.
Well, I wouldn't say you've helped me, mate. You've given me loads of work.
Yeah. If
If
you do want some lovely terrain, give Zahir's Instagram a shout, and he'll sort you out with some stuff. Won't you, Zahir?
Always.
Just sorted me out with some Marvel Crisis Protocol terrain. So yeah, absolutely couldn't recommend him more.
So, beautiful hand sculpted.
Almost finished the last floor of Curtis's tower block.
Nice. You can send him whatever you want. He'll make it. I promise you. He'll even send you like computer mocked up designs of bespoke work. If you're going near Bristol, you got David Clubley's got some beautiful Shire boards that Zahir's helped make as well. So many things. What's been the favourite thing you've done this year, Zahir?
So I was lucky enough to be commissioned by you and someone else for a massive Helm's Deep board. So I've made 2 like 6x4 Helm's Deep boards with like the Hornberg and like rocks all around it and stuff. And it's been incredible. It's been absolutely incredible. I think that was my favourite thing.
Huge achievement. They look absolutely brilliant.
I'm hoping to be releasing some like smaller Helm's Deep stuff as well this year, which should be good fun.
You mean this one?
Yeah, which I was so jealous that people were playing a scenario on yesterday.
They blew up the wrong bit of wall. They blew up that bit with the stairs on it.
Oh no!
And then they realised their mistake and came back and blew up the culvert as well. Just for good measure.
Oh, that's annoying.
Yeah, these are some James Patterson 3D printed some ladders for us.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, there's loads of pictures up on our Facebook and stuff. And we tried to do like a play-by-play.
I'm going to be
seeing all of them. Helm's Deep. But yeah, we had a lovely day the other day, just playing through it all.
I'm going to have to get a gang of people from London down to make use of that.
Hopefully we'll do it again and film it, because that'd be cool.
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
But yeah, it took about 6 hours, I think.
Wow.
And in the end, they concluded that the evil force needs about double the numbers that it has.
Okay.
They barely broke through the walls.
Oh wow.
It was pretty brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah. They also realised in this scenario it doesn't actually say once per game the heroes can go and grab a horse. So
okay.
I think it was Faye then went and grabbed a horse, came back, started fighting, lost his horse, and ran back up and got another one.
They can keep doing it.
It doesn't say once per game. Classic Bert. They're finding a loophole. But yeah.
Lost my horse. I'm going to grab another one.
I mean, to be fair, if he's got a stable, he's quite likely to have loads of horses kicking around. But
yeah.
Yeah.
All those have died by now.
But no, it's been a really good year. That was a really nice, fun way to cap it off. We did it at this time of year because obviously everyone's got a lot of time off work and things. So we wanted to make sure that people had the time to sit down and play through these. We got a couple of Asgiliath boards out and did like a big couple of big scenarios from there. And we played through the Battle's Tomb board game a couple of times.
Oh, brilliant.
How was that?
Yeah, it's all right.
I've not heard anything about it from anyone.
It's because no one can get a copy of it. I'd love to get a copy.
You can, if you want to see how it plays, you can look at some videos on our YouTube channel, because they're awesome. We did play through a few times. Did play it wrong though, because Gimli's way better than we played it. But yeah, it's a good fun game. It's not amazing, but it is good and fun. It would have been way better if more copies were made. I made a big point to our my Games Workshop lady of saying over and over again, I've got people, I need like 10 more copies of this, I need 15 more copies of this. Like I've got people desperate for this, and they're like, no, we don't have any more, sorry. It's just like, but like you don't understand the demand for half of this stuff. Like it's insane. Which has been really good to see this year, like just in general as well. So we've gone from, at the start of this year, we probably had like 8-10 people in our group chat in Swindon, of like people that we could call on for games and things. Our Facebook group now has over 100.
That's incredible.
It's got insane. The GBHL has gone up to like 800, 900 people, I think it was, by the end of this year. We're seeing regular events hitting like 60, 70, 80 people. Like it's just the hobby at the moment. It's insane. It's great.
Yeah, it's really
I'd love to see it.
I think that is the
COVID revival has been amazing.
So many dice sets as well. Oh,
so many dice sets.
Give me the dice, man. I love the dice. I've just got this one. I've never even used this one. I just found it on my desk.
I buy them. I never use them. I'm too addicted to using the atomic cards dice.
Oh, don't use them. They're broken.
Yeah, I didn't get any broken ones. Mine are broken on one.
I used them at like one event and then realized they were it felt like I was getting some sixes, and obviously because you're there like repping the brand as well, it did look a bit awkward. So
it's got to, hasn't it? Because they've got to see the brand name as much as possible.
I've just I've got that gold one ring set, and I love them.
Yeah.
They've done me well, but I've been having a lot of fun with the Mordor black and red ones that have just come out. They're quite nice.
Oh yeah,
so where can you get them?
They're available from the Atomic Cards website if anyone's looking. We also have some of the older sets, so feel free to have a look on there as well, because we do stock up on them as they come out now. So yeah, Eastling, Dale Dice and stuff are still up on there. I think I'm out of Angmar and Dumbledore now, I'm afraid, but yeah. We stock up. Don't go buying them for like 15, 20 quid from people. Discount price still. It's all good. But yeah, really good year for us, like as a crew. The shop's been really good. Zahir's had loads of train sales and things. It's been
really good.
Lovely.
Mainly from you.
Curtis is getting married, so that's nice. We can't all be successful in hobby, so
I mean, look, Curtis is Mr. Sporting though, isn't he? He's probably won about 4 more this year.
Yeah, but again, at non-GBHL events, if I'd won 4 at GBHL events, I would have won the friend of Middle Earth or something.
That's because you try too hard at GBHL events.
I do try too hard.
That's it. Next year, I want to see you losing every game, but having just a blast every time. Stop winning so many games.
That's it. I need to stop finishing lower mid-table. I need to start finishing proper low.
Proper bottom, yeah.
Yeah.
No, what you need to do is be Mr. Wooden Spoon and Mr. Most Sporting.
Oh, I've never won a wooden spoon. I can say that in my life. I've never had the pleasure of winning a wooden spoon.
We can work on that. It's all right.
I lied to you. I won a wooden spoon about 2 weeks ago, didn't I? At the pairs event. That's my first wooden spoon. My last event of the year.
I was quite disappointed when we went to the teams event. We didn't get the wooden spoon.
Yeah, we did too well in our first round, didn't we? Well, you did. I lost all my games.
An interesting side little thing that I've just remembered exists. So one of the things we have discovered this year, I'm going to do a little shameless plug for a website now because I love it, and other people hate it, and I love it, so it's all right. It's the little Longshanks website, right? I love this bad boy because on here, what I've been doing is logging my games for the year. So I only really started it about halfway through the year. and excuse the 50 million tabs I've got open. But this is my casual games for the year.
Do you just log your casual games then?
Yeah, mate. Log your casual games. So I have played 66 games at 4 events, most of which are like local friendly ones. Or some of which are as a ringer, so we don't really count too much. And on here, it's got all of your games lists, it's got all your games for all your factions. So you can see I'm 2-0 with Rangers of Mirkwood. Might be a project coming, who knows? Goblin Town, Erebor, Lake Town, everything that's good. My favourite stat of the year is down here, where it tells you your points value of the games that you played and how you've done each one. So starts off nicely, 350, 100% win rate. 450, 72, 500, 78. Nice. Good, I hit like 700. Yeah, it's like 30%. just don't bother, lads.
900 though, absolutely champion at 900 points.
Yeah, that was because someone wanted a practice game for the event. It's actually live on YouTube. That one. That is Fiefdoms and Rohan taking on Isengard. Poor little Bert. Thought he wanted some practice for Lords of the Imps, didn't he?
Oh.
Step into my dojo, catch these hands. But yeah, it's a really useful thing for just logging all your stats. I would encourage everyone to do it because it's very helpful. And you can see what scenarios you struggle on, like assassination. I haven't won it this year apparently. And seized a prize, bit of a dodgy one. But you know,
to the death though.
Goblins.
Yeah. To the death. Lords of Battle, pretty awful, but that's because I use hordes exclusively. But you know, yeah, it's really, really, really good for that. That's just my that's just the personal ones, and obviously you can go on and see the whole community. So you've got your player rankings and everything, and then the statistics of this. So apparently, right now, Men of the West is the best army in the game.
Is that done on percentages or something?
Yeah, it's played 4 games, 1-2, drawn 2, hasn't lost a game.
Wow.
I think that is that's at all times. So if we just put it onto competitive events and see, there we go. So it's actually fell beans. But yeah, it's a good useful thing to come and have a look at.
I imagine it's something that will get better the more people use it as well, because the data
absolutely, yeah. The more people use it, because the player rating system is worked out as like an ELO type system. So like if you're beating people who are rated higher than you, you go up, and if you're and like even losing to people that are rated really highly can make you go up and stuff. So the more people play it, people will settle at the right kind of ratings. I'd really like to do one where a tournament where it's kind of seeded based on your ratings on it.
But I suppose you can only do that once the data's accurate enough, right?
Yeah. But it would be really cool to see. Because that would be cool, because then you can do a one-day event, but you can almost kind of cut the top half off and send them off against each other. And then if you know that if someone's gone 4-0 at a thing, they've had to actually play most of the time. They played people who are good.
Yeah.
To get there. Or they played the other guys who are up at the top level, which has been really good. Yeah, Wolves of Isengard, what are they doing up there? But yeah, really, really useful little website. You can host all your events on there. You can find events. Life is good.
And is this paid content? Are you being sponsored by them?
No. If anything, I pay them. In fact, I actually do pay them. But yeah, I give them I think it's like £1 a month. Gets you like more in-depth stats and more stuff as a TO, which is useful. But yeah, if you head over to find events, you can see like current ones and upcoming ones and all that lovely stuff. So yeah, there's not paid content or anything. It's just it's a cool website that is useful. And if people all over the world use it, it look really cool. I've seen some like Canadian events going up, and it's great fun because you can like watch the Canadian games happening, and you can see
nice.
like, what's going on in the Canadian meta.
Start betting on them.
Yeah, it would be really cool. It's just something I'd like to see used more. That's all really. But yeah, I think that about sums us up. I don't know if there's anything else we need to discuss.
I don't think so.
Goals for next year. We can come back a year later and see if we've achieved them.
I would like a couple of podiums.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't do this year. Didn't win an event.
Oh, okay. Next year, don't worry about getting loads. Just try and win.
Try and win one. Yeah. I've actually not won an event since my first GBHL event, which was Borodor last year.
So
You've got to come back.
Yeah, it's a lot of effort, though, isn't it? And yeah, you guys need your moment. I've told myself this year that I'm going to try and stick to the southwest region as much as I can.
Nice.
Although I am my first event is in the southeast, but anything I want to be within like an hour and a half of home is like my aim. I don't think I'm going to travel much, just because I spend so much time and money like traveling around the country going to these things. With work as well, I don't really see like a weekend or anything. So for personal life reasons, it'll be better to try and spend more time locally.
A Tuesday just for you.
Nice, thank you, babes. That would be lovely. Genuinely, if someone can organise a GBHL event on a Tuesday, that would be fantastic. Can we do that? Is that allowed? Oh, I might request that from the committee and see what happens. just a GBHL event on a Tuesday.
It would just be me versus you 4 rounds.
Let's go. Yeah.
80 points.
If you're really committed, you'll get a day off. Like,
yeah, it's actually a GBHL 200 event because it's a Tuesday. If you're that committed to the GBHL, you get 200 points.
Oh dear. Yeah. What I'd like to do, if we can, is at some point in the not too distant future, I'd like to come back and have a look. I've been also having a look at all the events that put all of the stats and things up onto Facebook of all the like armies that have come. I've kind of yoinked them all and stashed them in a big old spreadsheet. So I have some kind of all the GBHL 100 events. I've tracked all the armies that have been going to them and like which armies are coming in the top 5 of those events. So we can have a little look at an in-depth meta-analysis if we want to. That would be quite cool to have a look at if anyone's keen. Yeah, hopefully have a look at that in the not too distant future.
Sweet.
If you'd be up for it, I think it'd be quite cool.
Sounds cool.
If you want to see that, put it in the comments that you want to see that, and we'll talk about it. We can break it down pre-Defense of the North and post-Defense of the North as well, because
I think that was a big meta change as a result.
That has shaken things up. Yeah.
Big shift.
And yeah, it's been quite good. Anyway, we will let you get off. Thanks for sticking around with us. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment, go to Zahir's Instagram and buy some terrain from him. What's your Instagram, Zahir?
Zahir Currers Designs.
It'll be in the description if you want. There should be a link down there. And yeah, Curtis, plug something.
Come to a London event if you can. We got a ton in the calendar, GBHL and non-GBHL. Just find the London Wargaming Guild and we'll hit you up.
Nice. And yeah, thanks for sticking with us, and we'll see you soon.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, guys.